And we're not talking about those cringy stock videos with that terrible voiceover. No, with this new tool, you can easily create a beautiful video with your own voice in literally seconds. Alright, so you probably already know that visuals are important. We all know that videos are king, but creating those videos can be time-consuming. You can then add a voiceover, and that can either be you or one of the AI-generated voices. You can either use your own voice, or you can use an AI-generated voice. After that, I logged into Pictory and chose the free trial option at the top of the page. Once inside, you can choose between the free and pro plans. If you have multiple ideas, you can save them here to come back to later. But if you had multiple clips, you could choose which ones to keep and which ones to discard. Now let's say you didn't like the video that was generated. You could always re-roll it by clicking the re-roll button on the top right. You could also add additional prompts by clicking Add Another Roll at the bottom. Alright, so let's look at a few examples I made with Pictory. This first one was made with the free Roku model. When you're happy with your video, you can export it by clicking Export Video on the top right. For some reason, it wouldn't let me download it, but I could still download the video itself and then just upload it to another site to download the voiceover. I paid for this one myself, and I think it's really cool. Here I just typed in a panda bear meditating in the forest, and I think it turned out great. With the Envato Elements model, you have access to their entire library of photos and videos. I then took that video and uploaded it to CapCut to speed it up a little and add a background track. If you want to learn how to do that, check out my video on how to speed up videos. They offer a lot of value for the price. And it's a really easy way to create videos without having to film anything yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. The video will automatically play when you load the page, but if it doesn't, click the play button on the bottom left. On the left side, you have all of your video clips, and on the right side, you have all of your audio clips. When you're ready, click Create Video, and then sit back while it does its thing. Now, depending on which model you choose, this can take anywhere from a few seconds to a minute or more. Once you've exported your video, it will ask you to add a title and description. These are optional, but if you're posting this on social media, it does help to have a good title and description. Since I want to test out all the features, I paid for the Pro plan. If you're uploading your own, make sure it's a mono track with no background music. The only downside is that currently you can only use English as the language, and it has to be a mono audio track. So no background music or anything else, just your voice. Just make sure it's a mono track. Then once you've recorded your voiceover, you can upload it in Pictory under the Voice tab. I chose the vertical option for my first video and then scrolled down to choose my model. They have a bunch of free ones you can choose from, but I decided to pay for the Envato Elements model, which has over 200 million assets to choose from. There are tons of other models to choose from, so feel free to browse around and find one that you like. Then you can edit the audio, cut it, trim it, change the volume, and more. So once you've generated your video, you can change things like the background music, add subtitles, make the video faster or slower, crop it, or add an overlay. I'll show you how to do all of this in just a second. That's where Pictory comes in. It's an affordable solution to create beautiful, high-quality stock videos without having to film anything yourself, and it's incredibly easy to use. Even my mom could do it. You can choose from a ton of different models, each of which will return very unique results. There are some free models like the ones I use today, but there are also some premium ones. Now, I did pay for the premium one myself because I wanted to try it out before I showed it to you guys, and it was totally worth it. This way you can test it out for yourself and see if it's right for you. You know what I mean? So let's get started. I'll show you the features and benefits of Pictory and why I think this is such an incredible tool. But before we dive into that, if you're new here, consider subscribing for more awesome AI tools and content like this. Where they offered early access to 200 people who saw the post? If you want to be one of the first to know about future deals like that, you should definitely subscribe. With that said, let's dive in. It's powered by AI, so everything is done automatically after you type in a few prompts. You can choose between different aspect ratios, vertical, widescreen, square, and they even have custom aspect ratios. So you can input whatever you want. Today I chose vertical since I plan on posting these on Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Once you've chosen your model and aspect ratio, you can input your prompt. Now, being a stock video platform, it does help to be a little more specific than a normal text-to-image prompt. For example, instead of just typing in cat, you would type in fluffy orange cat running in the forest, and that way it knows exactly what to create. If you don't have any copyright issues, you can even upload your own images, and then it will create a video based on that photo. But first, let's talk about voiceovers. There are two ways you can go about doing this. Now, I've tested this and it works perfectly fine. All right, now let's start actually creating our video. First thing I did was head over to OpenAI.com and created a free account. Once you've signed up, you'll be brought to the main page where you can create your first video. Once you've chosen your model and aspect ratio, you can name your project and then type in your prompt. Once it's done, you'll be brought to the editing page where you can change a few things before exporting. Now, in my case, I only had one clip. Since I only had one prompt from there, you can choose between Full HD and 4K resolution. But keep in mind, the 4K costs double the credits. Next, you'll be asked to add a voiceover. Like I mentioned earlier, you can either use one of their AI-generated voices, or you can upload your own. When you're done, click Export Video again, and wait a few seconds for it to process. The only issue I ran into was the voiceover. This next one I made was using the Envato Elements model. With this video, I just went to Pictory.ai and found some nature sounds. So overall, I think Pictory is an incredible tool, and it's definitely worth checking out.